name's Esther Jelenke. You're welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. And today, when I refused to get that MMR for her at that time, it was as if I was wicked. The midwife wasn't happy, but she said, you know what? I'll go with whatever you want. So anyway, so don't judge me on that, because you will come to understand, honestly. And I was happy, and I am still happy right now that I did not take any jab for Gracie. Any jab for Gracie. Nothing at all. Not until she went to a boarding school. That was when they had to give it to her to protect her from other kids that might have issues, and to protect other kids in case Gracie picks up something. And that was totally okay. You know, I was happy with that. And I told them, yes, let's give it to her to protect other people, other children, and to protect her as well. So we gave it to her. But I have no regrets of not taking it for her when she was a baby. She started working at 9 months. Debbie didn't work until she was 1 year old. Michael, my son, he started working over 1 year old. But Gracie started working at 9 months. And then guess what as well? Gracie started talking. I remember when she was a baby, you know, when she was, when she started walking, she would run to the phone. It was only a landline we had then, and she would run and pick up the phone, and she would say, hello, yeah, you know, pretending that she was speaking to somebody on the phone. Because she saw she saw us doing it. So Gracie was doing that. So I seriously don't know what happened. And before her birth, after her birth, I decided to take 3 years career break, because I really struggled with nannies when Debbie was born. I went through a lot of disappointments. Debbie, I remember when I took Debbie to one nanny like this. I was living in East London. And I would take Debbie, I wasn't driving then, I would take Debbie on public transport to peck her to one African Nigerian woman like this. Oh my goodness. I don't know what that woman was doing to my child, but my daughter would cry. Hey, this girl. And as soon as she sees me, she will be shaking. She would be shaking like, and I was thinking, what is this woman doing to my child? I remember one morning I dropped her, and Debbie was physically shaking and crying, and she was looking at me, and she was begging me like you know, that pleading look. And I had to work. I remember that day. I cried to the office. I was crying, and I was going to work. And that day, I promised myself, I will have to pay for a nursery. And I would never put any other child through this again. And that was it. I told my husband, is it that I stop work or you stop work? One of us have to stop working, because I am not taking my child to this woman again. So what we now did was, my husband had to change, because he worked for the underground as an engineer. So he had to now change his shift from day to evening to night. So during the day he was home and I was working, and then I would work, and then I would be at home during the evening and he would go to work. And that was how we did it. But when Gracie was born, I promised myself, no working for me. I'm staying with her at home for 3 years. And I never knew she was special need. Never knew. You see, God works in a miraculous way. God is good. Every situation, every steps that I had taken, I come to realize that it was God that was just ordering my step. I trust in God and I believe in him so much, and I'm so grateful for the things that he had done and he's still doing in my life, especially with regards to Yomi. He has been faithful. So she started talking, like I said. She would, speak a word or two. I remember when we went for my friend's daughter's first birthday, Gracie was there, and I remember she was there, bye, when we were going. She said, bye, bye, and she was waving. She was waving and saying goodbye. So she met her milestones. This girl just stopped. She stopped talking. She became placid. She would sit in her car seat or in her bumper chair all day, and she would what she wouldn't cause any trouble. She would just sit down and she could watch the TV all day. She just became so quiet, and I just started to wonder what is going on with Gracie, what's happening to her. So I made an appointment. We went to see our GP then, and I remember the GP said, okay, he tested her, did everything, and said, you know what, there's nothing wrong with her. And they said, okay, what we're going to do is that they were going to take her, well, put her in a nursery. That maybe when she, when she starts to go to a nursery, she starts to interact with her friends or with other children, she will pick up again. So that was what happens. She was registered in a nursery. It was at the nursery that they were actually able to, not confirm, but they were actually able to say that that there were some few things that she was not capable of doing, and she was not doing what other kids her age were doing at that time. When they told me that, I didn't take it, I didn't take it lightly. I actually thought that they were just chatting nonsense, because you know what, I was not expecting anything to be wrong with my child. I thought she was perfect. So I was like, no, there can't be anything wrong with this girl. No. So I didn't actually, I didn't actually believe them. And I took her out of that nursery and I enrolled her in a private nursery. And at this time she was almost 25, 26 months old. So I put her in a private nursery and I was paying about £550. I am talking about like 17 years ago. 18 years ago. I was paying about £550 a month. I took her out of a nursery that was free, because I was not happy with the result they gave me, that there was something wrong with my child. How dare you say there was something wrong with my child? There's nothing wrong with my child. So I now took her to a nursery where I was paying £550 every month. I will tell you what happened again at that nursery. Next week, I'm going to be telling you her assessment, and I'm going to be telling you, how the doctor actually gave me the result of her assessment. And next week I will tell you her diagnosis. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Please, let me know if you have a special need child. Let me know the delivery or the pregnancy or what you went through was different, or if you had a smooth one, or if you think that it was during the childbirth of that child that you think that something must have happened. Because I've heard people said to me that, oh, it was during her the child's delivery. Maybe the child was did not get enough oxygen or something. And let me know what your experience was, how your child was diagnosed. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. I'll be seeing you next week again. Make a comment if you wish. Share it with your friends, with your, with anybody that you think will benefit from my story. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.